Shadow. Come here. Come on up. Good boy. Good boy. You me, Shadow. Good boy. Welcome back to another video. I gotta kind of wait on parts for this thing, so I'm just gonna go over all the tools and even the car a little bit in this video. I guess you can call this a tour of the temp shop, as in temporary shop. I'm just gonna start from the car and then go to all the tools that I have. So the car, I think you've seen it a little bit. It is a 6.0 LS swapped Genesis Coupe. I will go over more of the build stuff whenever it is running again, but this is the motor in it. So it's got Radium stuff, Racetronic, MSD, BTR, Summit Racing Pro stuff, CVF serpentine kit, and yeah, right now it's making around, I want to say like 545, but it's also on a turbo cam, so every 14.3 or 0.7 pounds of boost I push to it, it'll double it, hopefully. Please. Just like I said, that oil leak in the first video sucks, so if you didn't watch the first video. So right behind the flywheel where the rear main seal is, I believe is leaking out of there. It's coming down the transmission tunnel or bell housing tunnel, and it's coming onto the starter and the oil filter relocation thing or stock on the LS. Yeah, so this is the motor in it. Sounds great. I'll put up a video of it running really quick. It's a great car. I love this car. I built it the way I wanted it to. Now, back there a little bit, I do want to clean up. So whenever I pull the motor out or do whatever to the back of the motor and fix the oil leak, I get time, I'll pull the motor and fix all that stuff back there and make it look nicer. It's a really nice car. I'll show you the interior real quick and how all that stuff works. You come into the interior of the car. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll put a picture up on screen if you can't. In there is my ECM. It's a Holley Terminator X that's running the engine. I also coexisting it with my internals that's already in the car that came stock. So this right here is the Alpha X chip. It was supposed to help us mash up the Hyundai system with the LS system so it can work hand in hand, but it works and it doesn't. I'd rather just go all aftermarket now. Carbon fiber dash. This is the little screen that I can read my vitals on for my LS in. I got T56 Magnum F in it, so it's a 6-speed. Then you can look back there. Right there is the surge tank. Also, this right here is the bumper. I took it off so the tow people wouldn't have to worry about scraping it. I got aluminum door carves from LRB Speed, and they work great. I just need to powder coat them pretty much, but that's for a later date. These are all my sponsors. So I'm sponsored by every single brand on here, at least with a discount code, cheaper products, or even they pay me. All of these are really, really nice. But like I was saying, once the car is running and driving again, I'll go over the whole spec list and pretty much explain why I chose certain products or not certain products and what I recommend or don't recommend. Other than that, here's the tool section of this whole thing. So I have 3 toolboxes in total. This is my sister's and her fiance's toolbox that I just kind of gave them. That way they can work on their own cars and don't have to take any of my tools unless they really need it. Up here is a little US General thing, just my dad bought them for Christmas. But they got some extra sockets and some stuff up here. They got some nice stuff in the top drawer, just basic stuff. They're not really loaded out or anything like that, but it does get the job done. Most of these drawers are empty. This is the only ratchet they have. Anyway, here's some wrenches, it's nothing big. Here's our socket stuff and some bits. Works pretty good. Like, there's no complaints. This is probably one of the most organized drawers in this toolbox. Yeah, every time they need work on their cars, they come get out of this. Unless they don't have a tool, then they take out of mine. Decent stuff. It's still empty, but Jacob's also on a military thing right now. Like, he's just going back and forth. And my sister is younger than me. She's 18 and I'm 19. So then we go to my roll cart, the thing I push out if there's a car out there that needs to be worked on, or if a friend needs to use something. This is usually the one he uses. Here's all the 1/2-inch sockets I have. So these are standard, these are metric. Here's metric and standard 3/8, metric and standard 1/4. Most of them are Pittsburgh and Huskies, just because I had them lying around. And I actually kind of like the Pittsburgh sockets just because of the color. And they're also 12-point, as you can tell. Other than that, I got Husky Icon ratchets. So these are Husky right here. That just came in a little kit I bought a while back. I got the only Icon thing in here, which is a little wrench I bought a while back. Allens and some hexes and Torx. Other than that, I got right here Allens and Torx, just because of BMWs and Jeeps. They might need them and rather have them than not in the little roll cart. Got spark plug sockets, extensions, some swivels that I found in the barn or the shop that I'm building. Let me clear that up really quick. The shop is my barn that has been built back in the 90s and 80s. It's a really nice place. It's just, my grandfather was a little bit of a hoarder, so he just threw everything in there and didn't really keep it organized. So now I'm going through the process of cleaning it with my father and trying to make it into a little shop and maybe even a living space later on, just as a temporary one while I'm in college. Got some wrenches right here, some ratcheting wrenches, some fixed head wrenches and stuff like that. Got some pliers, vice grips. Come down here, this is most of the stuff that is used for a service. So for instance, oil wrenches, Allen keys, a battery terminal cleaner, some zip ties, some suspension wrenches. Come down here, got some hammers. Then you come down here, I got some paper towels, some soapy water, a funnel, a little mat to lay on, and some fender covers. Here's some screwdrivers, some flatheads. And then on the other side, got some Phillips heads. Verse of the day is Psalms 119, 133. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. That pretty much says that order my steps in God's word. Let no sin have control over me. Pretty much saying that I want to be in God's footsteps without having to be controlled by sin at the same time. But he freed us from our sin, but we just need to turn to him and accept his gracious gift. Then we come off to this toolbox. This toolbox is just kind of like the pack mule of the group. I just throw everything in there that I need. I just don't really know where to put in that big toolbox or this one. So I got some big wrenches right here, some 2-inch all the way to 1 3/8. Probably never ever need to use them. I got a welder right here that is just off of, I think, Amazon. It works pretty good for what it is. If I need to make something hold, it will make it hold. It's just not really pretty. Come up here, I got a knee pad. Got some lube right here. I got this for misfires. So one way to tell if you have a misfire, if it's not reading in the code or anything like that, is to put water on the headers and see which one starts to go off and fizz or which one doesn't. If it doesn't, then it's not firing it all the way. Got some little holders right here with some funnels. Got a little welding helmet right here with a respirator, so that way if I'm cutting carbon fiber or whatever, I don't have to breathe that stuff in because it can really hurt you. Over here I got some clips. Most of this stuff is my car parts, so bear with me. Down there is my oil drain and stuff like that. Got some spray paint, some other stuff up there, some wires, some insulation. Got some safety glasses, tap and die sets. Those are all tap and die sets. Yes, I need to hang this up. My sister got me that in Tennessee, I think. Other than that, I got a little soldering thing. Then you come down here, I just got some kits right here. So this is for the spring strut compression thing. If I need to take off a spring and put it to a new one. That's an engine oil pressure test kit. You come over here, a plastic welder. If you've never seen one of these, you put a little one of these clips in it. Hopefully you can see that. Put it on both ends, pull the button, and it's going to heat up immediately. And you just push it in the plastic, it'll melt into it. A hot glue gun, some identification tools. So these are my wire brushes, clamps, stuff I sometimes use. These are all the usables, should I say. I got files, razors, cutoff wheels, grinding wheels. Then you come down one more drawer. I got more wire right there, some zip ties, some chalk for metal work. So these are the two most messy drawers in the whole toolbox right here. So that's just all my cutting devices. Over here is mostly cleaning stuff and then hardware. Then you come right here. This is my little welding table that I'm gonna be putting up in the shop. I just set it there for now because it's a really nice little place I can put stuff on. But yeah, it works great. I don't know where my dad got it from, but it works phenomenally. So these are all my hardware stuff that I usually use the most. So I got M6 bolts and M6 everything else, M8s, M10s. I got a whole bunch of splices, switches, got a lot of miscellaneous bolts and nuts. That way, if I don't have one, I could just come over here, pull it out. Then I have some relays, some fuse extenders. That really comes in handy for aftermarket cars. Then I got some hose right here that I use sometimes, but not a lot. Then I got some bolts for the engine stands. And then I don't really know what's in this. I think it's just miscellaneous stuff that goes to my car. Then you come down here, this is just also other miscellaneous stuff. So I got a lot of wire looms, those, got some sheet metal in here, fuel fittings and stuff like that. Then you come up here, got some funnels, some microfibers, whole bunch of walkie-talkies and stuff. Got some batteries, all my drill bits, wire brushes, like the ones I use the most is up here. Then that leads us to my actual toolbox. Don't mind every single bolt up here. I still have the car apart from the diff and I need to put all that stuff back together once the new diff comes in. That is also something I want to talk about after I show you the last toolbox. So you look in this one, this is my big one. I got this for Christmas. I love it to death. So you open the first drawer, this is probably the prettiest drawer or one of the prettiest. These are all my sockets and ratchets and extensions, stuff like that. Most of this stuff is Icon or Cobalt talking about for the sockets. Most of these are Cobalt. I do want to get some new ones, but I have a car to fix first. 1/2 inch, 3/8, 1/4. These are 3/8 right here, Allen keys that are socket formed. Love these things. Extended versions of the metrics because that's usually the ones I find myself doing. Got some bits right here, swivels, And a lot of people wonder why I have this in here. It's an old thing that you can do for spark plugs. You can stick a spark plug in here and you can turn it, like it's at the point where you need to torque it down, it will actually start slipping and then you pull it back off. That way, so you don't have to fit a ratchet in there and just slowly do it, or even by your hand. You can just put this right here and start turning. Then you look at over here, here's all of my big impact sockets I use the most. Some Torx right here and some more Torx down there. Impact extensions, some regular extensions. Then I got some wheel sockets. I guess the reason why you want these is because they don't gnarl up the wheel or anything around it when you're doing it. Then you come to my ratchets. My favorites are these two. All these ones are usually 60 to 90 teeth. These are 120. These are by Gear Wrench. Cannot recommend them enough. I love them. Let me show you the difference. So this is an Icon wrench. This is the 24 karat gold one. So just listen to this. Then you come to this. So this is the Gear Wrench one. Listen to this. Really, really nice. After that drawer, we come down to this drawer. These are all the wrenches. So this one's also pretty, but I still need a lot more wrenches and some more stuff going in this drawer because most of them are ratcheting. These are the only Snap-on wrenches I have. I put the price together of all of them and that comes out to be $781. Granted, I didn't get them like that. My dad bought it from a tool buyback for his for the company that he works for. Anyway, these are Icon wrenches. I love them. There's nothing wrong with Icon. Snap-on people will get mad at me. I've used both Snap-on and Icon. Gotta tell you, there's very little difference. Other than that, I got some stubbies, got some standard, so it's kind of split down the middle from metric to standard. As you can tell, I use a lot more metric than standard. After that drawer, we come down one more. Got some nut drivers right here from Icon. Got some Klein tools. I also love Klein tools. And then some picks right here. These are all my pliers and stuff I use pretty frequently. Got some torque wrenches right here, Allen keys, body trim pieces, clip pullers, adjustable wrenches, an adjustable nut thing. I don't really know what to call this. It's kind of like adjustable wrench, but it gets you the size pretty quick if you don't want to keep guessing. And then I got this right here for fuel fittings. So fuel fittings are usually made out of aluminum or some malleable material. These are made out of a little bit softer aluminum, so they don't gnarl up your fuel fittings, but it gnarls up this first. These are all the big kits I usually use. That thing saves my life. Not sponsored, not anything like that. It's just great. That is a threaded rivet gun, so I'll put a picture up on screen. It pretty much squeezes it in, keeps it in there, so you don't have to have a nut on the other side of the bolt. Got a little rotary tool, a bleeder, kits right here, O-ring, hose clamps, bolt extractors right here. You better come out drawer. There's all my hammers I usually use, some pry bars right there, fish tape. I got some claws. This is my battery and electrical drawer. Just talking about the charge stuff. Then here's all my drills. I got 2 impacts, a drill, a extended electric ratchet, and then extended 1/2 inch electric ratchet that can break bolts that I can't reach. This is my most used drawer, the stuff I use the most. I got flashlights, some Knipex stuff. This is just a drawer that if I would carry this around. This is my light drawer. So this is for my lights and stuff like that. That's the stuff I usually use the most as of lights, just to hang. Headlamps as well if that isn't enough. All the keys to my toolbox and stuff. This is my consumable drawer. This is my electronic diagnosis drawer. Got a multimeter, engine code reader, a relay tester, and then an amp meter. This stuff is my electrical drawer for the most part. So I got a lot of my heat shrinks, my wire splicing kits. Got some copper lugs in here, the wire connectors in there. Last drawer is this one. This is a 1,000-pound impact from Harbor Freight. Works great. Then my heat gun. That is pretty much all my tools. I got a lot more at the barn. This is just the stuff that I need and I like to have down here at the moment since I'm not all the way up at the shop yet. This was the news about the car. Know what I want to do in the future. As of right now, I'm going to put the stock diff back in. If you don't know already, car pretty much broke the rear diff because of how much power was going to it. The rear diff is stock though, so I'm kind of surprised I held up for that long. For people that want to see the diff, this is it right here. So as you can tell, it literally sheared off the input shaft of the diff, straight off the drive shaft. It literally tore it up, smashed it all around. And then at the back, there is a broken bolt inside of it as well. I don't even know what the inside of that looks like. My dad wants to tear it apart and look at it. But I'm gonna put the same stock one back in as of right now. Car running, so I can get some clips of it and stuff like that, post on social media. And on top of that, have a little bit of fun with the car. The reason why we decided to go with a stock diff is because we priced out the diff I actually want to put in it. I want to put a Ford 8.8 in it. It's pretty much a huge freaking diff that can hold as much power as I put to it. And if I ever need to upgrade it, there's a lot of aftermarket compatibility to upgrade it. So I'll have a Hyundai, a Chevy, and a Ford in the same freaking car. 5 to 10 grand, depending on if I go with the upgraded axles or not. It's going to be around like somewhere between 5 to 10 grand, depending on if I go with the upgraded axles or not. But this is the end of the video. But Jesus Christ loves you so much. and he wants a relationship with you. But other than that, have a great night, a great day, whatever you want to call it, and y'all be safe.
Good boy. You want baby? You want baby? You want baby? Give me that baby. Give me that baby.